The following is a special presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Welcome to North Carolina. Tonight, the Carolina Skyhawks host the NYC Sailors as Week 2 in the SFL season gets officially underway. One day later, hello again. I am your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. Tonight, two teams that at the start of the week were put at the very bottom of the SFL Power Rankings. NYC 16th, Carolina 15th. You think these two teams have a chip on their shoulder? You don't even know the half of it. Who gets their first win tonight? Sailors and Skyhawks. Coin toss is next.
Okay, Joe. Good to see you.
The Sailors will make the selection. What is the call?
Give us tails.
It is heads.
Real kick.
The Stars have won the toss and select a kick.
It's just about that time again. This time it's Monday Night Football back again on the SFL Network. NYC and Carolina. The ball is on the tee and the drama is real. Kick it! We're underway! A short kick from the 11. Shane Spurgeon on the return, and he gets plowed at the 32-yard line after a pretty good return on the play. The NYC Sailor quarterback is Carter Peters, 6 foot 205, and he is in his second season hoping to lead the charge of a Sailor offense that had its fair share of struggles passing down the field last season. Of course, the big weapon is at the bottom of the screen, number 1, Sultan Muhammad. 1st and 10 for NYC. And back to pass is Peters. He flips it out to the fullback, and the tackle is made in the open field. After a gain of just 2 yards, that is the rookie corner, Blake Chance, on the outside, number 27, 6'3", 205. The SFL on Twitch.tv is presented by DAX Stats and OBS Studio. And after yesterday's postponement of games across the league, we've got the Xbox problem solved, and we are back on the air for week number 2. Philo Celestino takes the handoff and is wrapped up in the backfield almost immediately. Back to the original line of scrimmage, a loss of 2, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 10. Brock on the tackle for Carolina. Tough start for the NYC offense so far. There's a look at Michael Spurgeon, or Maurice, check that, Spurgeon, 5'11", 200. He is primarily responsible for defending Muhammad tonight. That is a matchup to watch. Back to pass, Peters. Peters is looking down the field. The pass is knocked away and incomplete. Pack and I believe Chance also on the coverage. A quick 3 and out for the NYC Sailors, and Carolina's defense holds. A great start and a sign of good things to come for Carolina's defense. They really struggled had no answer for the DC Dragons, who came out and put up 40 on them in week 1 in the 40-14 loss by the Skyhawks. But Carolina much better at home historically than on the road, and it'll be interesting to see how the Skyhawks bounce back from that week 1 disappointment. Punt is away from the 31-yard line. Carolina on the return and not much room up to the 33. Carolina in the white helmets, red jerseys, blue pants, white numbers with the white lightning stripes down the side, and blue trim as well. NYC, blue helmets, white jerseys, blue pants, blue numbers, blue and light silver or whitish trim there on the pants. Jamison Monroe is the quarterback for Carolina, and they start with 2 receivers, 1 to either side, and a first down and 10. Johnny English didn't get a lot of carries in week 1, and Monroe starts off with a pass. That pass is caught to the outside. Sean Harrelson, 6'3", 200. The rookie, as he has words with Randall Del Castro. Johnny English is the star to watch tonight. Last season, he was first in the league, 165.8 rushing yards a game. He was 4th in the league in touchdowns, 5th in all-purpose yards, over 2,000 last season. He was the man for this Carolina Skyhawk offense, and they hope for more of the same from English. Monroe will pass again, and Monroe fires left side, wide open. That's caught for a first down and pushed out of bounds is Shan Varner. Varner had a good week last week in week 1 for Carolina in the loss. But excellent start for the Carolina offense, and Jamison Monroe is 2 for 2. We saw last week Carolina wanted to be a little bit more balanced offensively. It was a lot of Johnny English last season. Monroe had a decent opener, but made too many mistakes down the stretch and has completed 2 straight passes so far. Monroe going to throw again, and that pass is tipped around and nearly caught, but incomplete. A few Sailors had the opportunity at that one, and they couldn't bring it down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 49. Rest of the offense for Carolina, Alex Zelli is at wide receiver, number 84, 6'4", 207. Tight end, Shan Varner, number 88, as mentioned. English, the running back, number 24. And also Sean Harrelson on the outside at the main wide receiver spot. Monroe's going to go out of shotgun with split backs in the backfield on 2nd and 10, just inside NYC territory, and Johnny English is going to get his first handoff of the day, and he's going to be smushed at the line of scrimmage. That is Jack Bostrom combining on the tackle with Randall Del Castro, who combines with Jean-Pierre Lamarck. Defense for NYC, Randall Del Castro, number 5. Alexander Brown, number 2, at corner, acquired from Baltimore, along with Michael Spurgeon. At number 11 is the second quarter strong safety, Cecil Randolph, number 21. Back to pass. Monroe, deep ball down the field, and the pass is knocked away again. Excellent job by Michael Spurgeon on the outside. A couple of Spurgeon brothers involved in this game. Michael Spurgeon with NYC at corner, Maurice Spurgeon with Carolina at corner. That will be fun watching those two jaw as they go back and forth from sideline to sideline. Maurice Spurgeon back to return the punt. It's 4th down after a couple of incompletions from Monroe and nothing doing for Johnny English. So no yards for English on his opening possession, and Carolina will kick it away. Good start for the Sailor defense, which was pretty good last year in the Sailors' first season in the SFL. Spurgeon on the return up to the 17-yard line, 8:18 to go in the first. We are live from David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina, as the Sailors take on the Skyhawks. The winner improves to 1-1 on the evening. Also, elsewhere around the league, Minneapolis and Santa Fe doing battle in Mexico on SFLN 3, and Tallahassee hosts Houston in a rematch of the Teal Conference semifinal on SFLN 2. Rainy conditions there as Muhammad makes the catch, a pickup of 5. We had some bad weather here in Raleigh, but stayed a bit south and out of the way for tonight's main game. 2nd and 5 at the 22 after Muhammad's first catch of the day. Have yet to see much from Philo Celestino. He had actually quite a good debut, a 100-yard rushing performance in the 35-23 loss to the Dallas Roughnecks back in week 1. Split backs, and the handoff goes to Del Castro, and he gets forward progress before he is smashed down by Avery King, the linebacker for Carolina on the outside. Bobby Law, inside linebacker, number 53, 6'4", 260. Blake Chance and Maurice Spurgeon are the corners on the outside. Tony Willis, who had an interception last week, is at strong safety. 3rd down and 3. Filo Celestino on the carry, and he's put down to the line of scrimmage. Easy stop there for Carolina, and it's another quick 3 and out for the Sailor offense that continues to struggle. Back-to-back 3 and outs. And NYC's problem last week was not getting touchdowns and got field goals instead. So far tonight, their problem is just moving the chains.
Oh, yeah, punter. I'm coming. I'm blocking this.
Tough way to start for NYC. You don't want to keep their defense on the field too long. Returner stands at his 40, and Carolina, again, not a lot of room. Got maybe 1 on the return. Good punt there by NYC. Make sure to go to our website daily, simulationfl.com, for updates. Follow us on Twitter at SimulationFL, and subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels at /SimulationFL today. Join in all the action and the content. Split backs in the backfield for Monroe. He will pass, and Monroe fires it, and it looked like Zelli got caught up a little bit, and maybe pass interference could have been called, although I think there was contact before 5 yards as he was trying to run a little quick slant inside to no avail. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. NYC actually had the best run defense in the league last year. And, of course, people want to see more out of Johnny English this week, so that is a compelling matchup as well as we go along this evening. 2nd down and 10 for Carolina at the 41, and Johnny English will take the handoff. English will break off a tackle, but is gang tackled at the 43, just a pickup of 2 yards. Alexander Brown comes up from his cornerback slot to make the play, and we've really seen some good, fundamentally sound defense out of both these squads in the opening few minutes. 6:33 to go, 3rd down and 8, no score at the Carolina 43, a special edition of Monday Night Football on the SFL Network on Twitch. Monroe back to pass, deep drop back, Monroe steps up, pressure at his face, pass is tipped and incomplete. Monroe is throwing a lot of dangerous passes as Ulmer applied the pressure, and that's another 4th down and Carolina's first 3 and out of the game. But 2 possessions for each side and 4 punts gets us started here in Raleigh. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. Happy to have you along. If you've got action going on the 2nd and 3rd channels, chat along with all of us here on the main chat on the twitch.tv/simulationfl or at simulationfl.com, and click the game day tab on Spurgeon on the return, and he gets smacked at the 24-yard line across the side, and there's something to say about it. The other wide receiver across from Sultan Muhammad is Terminus Law, number 7, 6'3", 200. He's made some highlight-worthy plays already in just 1 week in the league. Had that one-hander that made the highlight reel last week. Tight end Elijah Swain, number 84, is another star player to watch on this NYC Sailor offense. Muhammad is at the bottom of the screen, heading off to Celestino, and Celestino's got a near 1st down, best run of the night easily. Tackle made by Law and Chance, and Celestino looks up and says, hey, check out the instant replay, 2nd and 1 at the 33. Blake Chance really struggled in his debut. You see him there, number 27. And Carolina fans are hoping that he can settle in and get rid of some of the jitters and get this Carolina defense to the level that people expect it to be. Celestino is buried in the backfield, a loss of about 2.5 at least. And that was Avery King in the backfield making the big hit. And check out this hit. King comes in unblocked, well, partially blocked. The fullback missed his block. And Avery King all over it. So that sets up a 3rd down and 3 at the Sailor 30. Peters will throw, and Peters will hit Celestino, and he got the 1st down. A A good pursuit there by Carolina's defense, but not able to get there in time. And NYC can finally give the Chain Gang something that they can get paid for. 5:06 to go in the first quarter. Scoreless game. Monday Night Football. NYC, Carolina. Under 5 to play now. The ball's on the right hash. 34. 2 receivers, 1 to either side. Celestino in the backfield. Peters will hand it off up the middle. NYC not afraid of the blitz that Carolina showed. Pickup of 7. And Celestino now has 13 yards on 6 carries. But another good run. Back-to-back good runs up the middle or to that right side for Celestino. There's a look at Tony Willis. Shane Spurgeon. This Carolina defense expected at the beginning of the season as Celestino will cut it left and get a first down. Big hit by Bobby Law across the shoulder area. But Carolina expected to be a big deal defense. The first team ever to have 2 Gold Star corners. We've seen Sultan Muhammad with just 1 catch, and it was a short one. It'll be interesting to see if Carter Peters even chances anything deep down the field with Blake Chance and Maurice Spurgeon in coverage. 3:56 to go in the first quarter. 2 receivers both to the far right side, bottom of the screen. Handoff Celestino, pressure in the backfield, and Carolina just won that battle at the line of scrimmage. Another tackle made by Blake Chance. He is having a heck of a first quarter, a much improved Blake Chance. And this Carolina defense making things difficult on NYC. 2nd and 12 at the Saylor 43. And look at everyone in the box, for 9 in the box for Carolina. And the handoff to Celestino. He will break a tackle, and he takes a pounding by Avery King, who is really stealing the spotlight from his teammate Bobby Law recently over the past couple of weeks. King, 13 tackles along with Law in opening week. And Avery King looks like he may be one of the best new linebackers out of the rookie class. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Crowd standing on their feet. 4 receivers for Carter Peters on 3rd down. Peters back to pass. Look at a great pocket. There's a flag on the play. The pass is caught by Swaim. It'll be a touchdown, but may be coming back. That would be a huge blow unless it's contact downfield. Holding on NYC. It moves it back. No wonder Peters had all kinds of time to throw. Trippy trips up the offense, and it's 3rd down and 18 back at the 38. Boy, that's rough. NYC, we know they're not an offensive juggernaut. They finally get a big play down the field. They get the matchup they want with Elijah Swaim in his first catch, and it's all for naught. Now it's 3rd down and long. Peters back to pass, and Peters still looking for the first down. He nearly got it. The pass is incomplete. Tried to squeeze it in to Sultan Muhammad down the field. Not a horrible pass. Pepper Pack, the non-star free safety, was in coverage, but really that was Blake Chance, who came flying in to force the 4th down. And what a disappointing end to the drive by the NYC Sailors, as they had an opportunity for 7 points there and failed to capitalize. 3 possessions, 3 punts for NYC in the opening quarter. Carolina should end up with decent field position. From the 22-yard line, Skyhawks this time a much better return up to the 30. And with 2:08 to play in the first quarter, NYC nothing, Carolina nothing, as the Skyhawks look to get their offense moving. Johnny English, former Dallas Star, former Honolulu legend. A couple of teams, at least in appearance-wise, do not exist anymore. Of course, Carolina, the former Honolulu Legends. Dallas Stars, now the Cleveland Vipers. Del Castro on the tackle, pickup of just 2 for Johnny English. Second down and 8 for the Skyhawks. Ball at the 33-yard line, and one of these teams eventually is going to have to make the first move. The Sailors thought they did, but a holding call brought the touchdown back. Out of the shotgun, Monroe with 4 receivers. Monroe steps up, he's in trouble. Oh, he avoids a sack. What a play by Jamison Monroe. A top play nominee, no doubt about it. Alex Zelli with the catch. An amazing play by Monroe as he spins away from pressure. I mean, he does a little pirouette, and I don't know how Zelli got so wide open, but what a fantastic play. Amazing. 1:02 to go in the first. Easily the most fantastic play of the quarter. Ball near midfield for Carolina. Hand off to Johnny English, and English lost a yard. He has gotten nothing going in the first quarter. Lamarck with his second tackle and first behind the line. Johnny English in a bit of a slump. Man, what a play. I can't get over Monroe. I mean, usually you see a quarterback duck away from a sack, but this was more of a half stiff arm, half twirl there out of Monroe. I don't know what you call that. Hand off to English. English is a triple team for a loss of another yard. Lamarck and company in the backfield. And these offensive lines from both sides are just losing the war at the line of scrimmage. Third down and 12 at the 47. 4 receivers, 3 to the left side, likely the final play of a scoreless first quarter. Monroe takes a low snap, back to pass. Nobody's open. Monroe has to dump it short. Pass is caught over the middle. That's the end of the first, and it'll be 4th and 5 when we come back. End of 1. There's no score, but there's plenty of excitement. This is the SFL Network on Twitch.tv, and we'll be right back. Carolina high, booming kick. It's going to bounce at the 7, and look at the hop that Carolina and he stepped in the end zone. Yes, he did. Wow. So NYC makes a mistake on the hold, and that certainly was a mistake there for the Skyhawks. That was a perfect punt. You got to know where you are on the field, and the toe hits the goal line. NYC catches a break there. 1st and 10 at the 20. No score. Start of the second quarter from Raleigh, North Carolina. Carter Peters back to pass. And Peters will look deep down the middle. The pass is incomplete again. Broken up by Tony Willis and company. Carolina's pass defense has been stellar here in the first half. You look at NYC and what they're hoping to improve this year. Their pass offense and their pass defense struggled. Last in the league in defensive pass efficiency. 15th in the league in scoring offense, among other numbers. That's what NYC hopes they can make an improvement on this year. And if they do, the Sailors, like anybody else, has a really good shot at the playoffs. Back to pass. Peters, deep ball down the field. Tipped away again. Bounced around and incomplete. Boy, Law, no relation out there on the coverage. And I tell you, Carolina and NYC are racking up the pass deflections, but neither defense has been able to come away with an interception. But flying all over the field, no matter where Carter Peters or Jamison Monroe try to throw the football. 3rd down and 10. Sailors haven't moved an inch. Back to pass. Peters, pass caught by Swaim for a first. No, they said he was short. That'll probably be challenged. I thought Elijah Swaim got the first down. That may be the matchup for NYC to exploit tonight. Oh, they're not going to challenge. I thought Elijah Swaim for sure got the first down. They must not have showed the replay on the big screen. because the Sailors just didn't feel comfortable about burning a timeout with the ball at their own 29-yard line, and they trust in their defense. It's had a phenomenal first half. Carolina will start with the ball at the 37, but when you think about it, Terminus Law and Sultan Muhammad on the outside are guarded by Gold Star corners, but Elijah Swain, a monster 6'7", I believe the tallest player in the SFL. He may be the matchup for the Sailors to try to exploit. 10:07 to go in the scoreless first half. Monroe back to pass, wide open, past midfield. It's Zelli again, and someone from the Sailors needs to cover this kid because the last 2 times he's caught a pass, he has been wide open. Yeah, again, he just sort of runs that a slant up the middle, fakes like he's running to the outside. And no one covering the middle of the field for NYC. Couple of grabs for Alex Zelli. It's been a while since I looked at the Carolina signings this offseason, so if I'm mispronouncing your name, Mr. Zelli, I greatly apologize. You have to let me know in the postgame show, as that pass is incomplete, intended for Sean Harrelson. Make sure if you're in action tonight, players, coaches, owners, call in. We want to hear your reaction, your responses to all the triumph and heartbreak tonight. SFL postgame show with live call-ins coming up immediately following the conclusion of all the games across the SFL family of networks. 2nd and 10 at the NYC 46-2 in the backfield. Johnny English gets the handoff, and English breaks off a tackle. He just can't get away, and he picks up 4. Got caught behind a blocker, Randall Del Castro on the tackle. English, he just didn't see the hole. Had an opportunity there to break out in the open field, and that's where English is so dangerous. He breaks a tackle, and you over-pursue, and he's one of the toughest, if not the toughest running back to bring down in the open field. 4 receivers, 3 off to the left side as Monroe drops back to pass. And Monroe will fire at left side. That pass caught by Harrelson. That's a first down. Alexander Brown on the tackle, but not before Carolina gets into field goal range to the Sailor 33-yard line. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see some points here in the first half. Of course, we had a game last year, I believe, that involved NYC. The Sailors and the San Francisco Bulldogs played that 6-3 game on national television. And to my knowledge, that's the lowest scoring game in SFL history. Johnny English has some room. Johnny English breaks a tackle, first down to the 19, and pick up of 14 yards. Now 21 yards on 7 carries. Johnny English starting to get cooking. And something's smelling good in the kitchen. See what I mean? Tough to bring down in the open field. Spurgeon on the tackle. 8.5 to go in the first half. Carolina, the first team to get into the red zone tonight. Ball on the 18.5-yard line. 2 receivers, 1 to either side, and 2 in the backfield, including English. And English going to get his 8th carry. English around the left side's got some blockers in front. And English picks up 8 to the 11. Lamarck and Del Castro combine on the tackle. Johnny English is really running hard on this drive. 8:05 to go. Coming up Wednesday night, it's the 300th game in SFL history. The undefeated Orlando Intimidators against the undefeated Sioux Falls Sparrows. A battle of 1-0 teams who won their season openers. Johnny English first down. Wednesday night, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, right here on the SFL Network on Twitch, along with other action across the league. First and goal at the 6. English is wearing down NYC. 8 in the box. 4 down linemen shift from right to left. Back to pass Monroe, flips it out English. English has a man to beat, he does! And it's a Carolina touchdown! Johnny English, who did not have a receiving touchdown the entire season last year, gets his first in a Skyhawk uniform. in the home opener. Lamarck thinks English is going to cut back inside, and it doesn't close off the corner. Bad pursuit there by Lamarck, and it results in 6, and the scoreboard and tie has been broken. Extra point for the kicker. Hart is good. NYC nothing, Carolina 7. So Hart will kick it away after a very successful drive by Carolina, methodical and balanced, and a lot of good stuff there out of the Skyhawks. Spurgeon nearly breaks free, and he may have been gone if that tackle had not been made. Great starting field position for the Sailors now at their own 38. Host Doug Bose and a host to be determined after Ed Ritter's departure break down the SFL's biggest storylines. Join in on the fun in the chat room or on the call. It's every Saturday night only on TalkShoe. And if you're interested in being a part-time or co-host fully of Inside the SFL, contact Doug Bose at Doug Bose on Slack. Pick up of just 1.5 for Celestino. Second and officially 9 for the Sailors. Looking for some answers is NYC. This game should be 7-7. Swaim caught a touchdown pass, and it was wiped off the board due to a holding on the offensive front. Peters on 2nd and 9. Hands it off Celestino, and a beautiful read on the outside. That was Pack. Celestino less than 2 yards a carry in the first half. Carolina, one of the rare teams that does not have a star free safety. And so far so good, not getting beat deep. Muhammad and Law off to the left side. And Peters throws across the field to Elijah Swaim on 3rd down. But it's well short of the first down. Another defensive stand for the Carolina Skyhawks. And I'm not sure if it's Carolina's defense looking sharp or NYC's offense looking not so sharp. Of course, the Sailors scored on 5 of their possessions last week, so their offense was certainly not inept. But has really struggled in the first quarter and a half of this game as the Sailors kick it away. From the 18-yard line, Carolina surrounded at the 20. 5:23 to go in the first half. Take a look at what these two teams did last year. Carolina had the running game and really had a balanced attack. Both teams under 200 passing yards a game and want to improve in that department. Hand off to Johnny English, starts the drive, gets away from a blocker. Johnny English in the open field, and English drags defenders all the way to the 38, a gain of 18. This is the Johnny English that we all know. He's just a bruiser. Fights away, and look at Shan Varner out on the outside leading the charge. That's what you want to see out of your tight ends and receivers. Get out in front and do the dirty work. Under 5 to go in the first half. Carolina trying to build on their 7-0 advantage. 2 receivers for Monroe. Monroe back to pass. And Monroe will fire deep left side. It is overthrown, overshot everybody. Monroe looking for Harrelson. I believe Alexander Brown was in coverage. They both dove for it, and it flew over both of their heads. 2nd down and 10. (74 yards and a touchdown, 96.3 quarterback rating so far for Monroe. Not too shabby, and he's stayed interception free. 2nd down and 10 at the 38. Handoff English left side. He's in big trouble, and English goes down. A loss of, I can't believe they're saying only 3, because the Sailors were all over that play. If English would have taken it the other direction, he could have had a big gain. Del Castro and company on the tackle. Now it's 3rd down and long for Carolina, and we'll see if Monroe can make any more magic happen. Sailors nothing, Skyhawks 7. 4 receivers, 2 to either side. Monroe's going to pass, 3-step drop, fires short, looking to turn the corner, but Zelli had to turn around for the ball. Just a gain of 6, and it'll bring up 4th down. 4:08 left. Coming up, 2K Sports halftime report. First half highlights and stats. You can catch out all of the SFL action every game night. Easiest way to do it, simulationfl.com. Click the game day channel. Pop the chat out. It'll open up a new tab. But then you just shape the shape of the chat room to be your smaller window, and then you can go from game to game on the game day channel as well, as you chat with the rest of SFL Nation rather, that is joining by the handfuls every day now. Venezuela, Argentina, lots of new countries getting involved. Back to pass, Carter Peters flips it out to Milo Celestino. Just a gain of a couple. Blake Chance and Avery King on the tackle on the outside. Carolina defense under the direction of Andy Hamilton. I know he had a rough week last week, but Carolina looks like a whole different team this week here at home. Dominant on the defensive end. Back to pass, Peters. Peters will fire right side, and it's intercepted and returned by Spurgeon. Pass was intended for Muhammad. I'm not sure if Muhammad dropped the pass or what. It looked like Muhammad was going to make the catch. Let's get another look at it. It was just overthrown, and Tony Willis, it actually hit Willis in the chest and bounced right into Maurice Spurgeon's hands. So Willis, who got the interception last week, helps Maurice Spurgeon to his first of the year. English 11 carries, 47 yards in the first half, nearly 100 yards last week. 4 receivers, ball on the left hash. Carolina in business in NYC territory, and English is doubled up. Jack Bostrom is really making an impact on this Sailor team. He had a very quiet first season in NYC. Really didn't do much, but NYC has really helped Bostrom blossom here in the first 6 quarters of the SFL's 7th season. Monroe will hand it off to English. English has some space and gets a handful of yards. Randolph on the tackle. 3rd down and 4 at the Sailor 41-yard line. Wednesday night, along with Orlando and Sioux Falls, of course, we have the Baltimore Crabs at home, their home opener against the Queen City Corsairs. What a great game that will be. And then on the 3rd network, big game for Cleveland, a divisional game at 0-1 as they take on the undefeated 1-0 Dallas Roughnecks. That pass intended for Harrelson, overthrown on 4th down, and the drive stalls out for Carolina. Harrelson was open. If Monroe would have just waited a split second, could have had him. 2:20 to go in the first half, and Carolina's forced to kick it away. And can they try once again to pin the Sailors inside the 20? No, fair catch at the, well, yes, inside the 20, but not inside the 10. Fair catch by Spurgeon at the 11. Michael Spurgeon, Maurice Spurgeon, cousins, I believe. 2:17 to go in the first half. Sailors still with the goose egg, but only because of an offensive holding call. Otherwise, we'd have a tie ball game. Handoff Celestino, left side. He's got a lot of room and gets about 5 before, again, Avery King and company push him back. Celestino is up over 2 yards a carry now, but it's been tough sledding. 2-minute warning. This is the SFL Network. Hand off to Celestino, and he drags the defender for a first down of the 22. Sultan Muhammad was happy about it. This is just good, solid, tough running up the middle. Willis, I believe, eventually on the tackle. 1:45 to go in the first half. Can the Sailors make something out of this drive? Muhammad, a very quiet first half. Celestino in some trouble, throws it, Swain. First down to the 34. Elijah Swain's going to have a good night if Carter Peters keeps looking his direction. That was a good read by Peters, almost got his throwing arm taken off. But wasting no time to get the tight end involved tonight while Muhammad is preoccupied. And right now it looks like he's double covered on the outside. Hand off to Celestino, and he got nothing. Was that King? That was Avery King again, who is lining up on the defensive line there and rushing off the edge. Peters, wobbly pass. Oh, he caught it! Caught again by Swaim at the Sailor 48-yard line. Elijah Swaim making his mark on the first half. Peters again, 3-step drop. Celestino's got some space. And finally a timeout out of NYC. 39 seconds to go, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. Really impressive first half out of Elijah Swaim. And maybe the Sailors are realizing a weapon they didn't really know they had. Down the field, 54 yards and an interception. Not Carter Peters' best first half. 39 seconds, but still down just 7. Handoff, Celestino, and Celestino will be wrapped up. And another timeout. That's a bit of a bizarre play call. Spurgeon on the tackle, Maurice. Down to 36 seconds now. And the crowd is on their feet. Carolina really has done everything they could have hoped for up to this point defensively. Back to pass. Peters in trouble, steps up, fires middle, caught again at the 33. That was Muhammad, who finally got open down the field, and now NYC is in no huddle mode. Empty backfield, 22 seconds to go in the first half. Peters needs to snap this football. What's he waiting for? Back to throw. Swings it outside Muhammad, inside the 30. Oh, Muhammad! What a move! Down to the 2-yard line! Just when you think he's going to go out of bounds, Sultan Muhammad makes a tremendous play and nearly scored a touchdown. I can't believe Pack dove on his back to make the tackle. And that may have saved a touchdown, because NYC, now out of timeouts, is going to bring KJ Batista out there. They don't want to take a sack and then not get any points. So the Sailors, they know there's a lot of game left to be played, but Pack saves a touchdown off of just a brilliant play by Sultan Muhammad, who took no prisoners on that reception when both Carolina players thought that there's no way that Muhammad was not going to try to just get out of bounds. Batista's chip shot is good. 9 seconds to go in the first half. Sailors on the board. 7-3. But finally, signs of life out of the Sailor offense. both teams a couple of really consistent drives here in the second quarter. Kickoff from 1 yard deep into the end zone. And the return leaves just 3 seconds on the clock, and Carolina has the ball on the 25. They'll likely just run this out. Final play of the first half. 2K Sports halftime report coming up next. Sailors 3 and Carolina 7. Split backs in the backfield. And Monroe will throw. And Monroe will dump it off short. And Johnny English in the open field will be wrestled down by Spurgeon. That is the end of the first half. Monroe ends the first half 87 yards and a touchdown and no picks. A clean sheet for Monroe. That is the end of the first half. Sailors down 4. Both teams showing signs of life in the second quarter. Who gets their first win tonight? The 2K Sports halftime report is right now. Batista to kick it away to start the second half. And Carolina fumbles. It's recovered by NYC. Gold Carrier. Not sure what happened on this play here as we get another look at it. Carolina to start the second half. The fumble was forced by number 58. Number 82, Gold Carrier, recovers the fumble. And NYC has easily their best starting field position of the day at the 17.5-yard line of the Skyhawks. What a turn of events here as Peters will hand it off to Celestino. Celestino, check into the hospital. Avery King just puts you on a bed, loss of 4 yards. What a hit by Avery King. Straight nasty. And just like that, it's a 2nd and 14 for the NYC Sailors. Here is the third quarter starts with plenty of excitement. Fullback gets the catch. King again on the outside. Gain of just 2 for Powell. 3rd and long. Man, Avery King, I mean, this guy, he's just unstoppable out there. No one wants to block him. 3rd and long. Peters back to pass. Peters just looks Muhammad's direction and just throws it out of bounds. Muhammad 4 catches on 7 targets Carolina dodges a huge bullet, another field goal coming. KJ Batista is the highest paid kicker in the league. Over his career, he's 32 of 35, and his long is 53 yards. He's done that 3 times. He missed one of his three field goals missed was last week in that loss to Dallas. This kick is from 33 yards away and nearly blocked. Batista's kick is good. Back-to-back field goals for the Sailors, but Carolina dodges a huge bullet. They keep the lead and force a 3-and-out despite fumbling away the opening kickoff. We have seen some really big hits tonight. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. This is a special edition of Monday Night Football on the SFL Network on Twitch. Typically Sunday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays here in Season 7, but yesterday had some tech issues, and we got those resolved in time for kickoffs tonight. On the return, past the 20, and no fumble this time, to the 23-yard line for Carolina to start the second half. Edwards is the return man for the Skyhawks. The SFL on Twitch is presented by DaxStats and OBS Studio. Visit DaxStats' website to find out how their statistics service can help you, your business, or your team, or league for that matter. At the 22-yard line, handoff to Johnny English. English around the right side, and English loses a yard. Tackle made by Michael Spurgeon, who's had a good ball game on the defensive side. .9:35, third quarter.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 22-yard line.
4 receivers now for Carolina. As mentioned, Monroe nearing 100 yards passing and has not thrown a pick. Hand off to English up the middle, and English again is wrapped up a gain of just 1 yard. If you're just joining us, NYC Sailors, Carolina Skyhawks from David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina. 0-1 NYC, 0-1 Carolina, and nobody wants to be at the bottom of the standings heading into Wednesday night. 8:56 to go in the third, but somebody has to. Back to pass, Monroe. Deep drop back. Monroe fires left side, caught by Harrelson. But that was third down, and that's not good enough. And James Klein, Shan Varner, they look up at Monroe, and they're saying, what are you doing? Got to get the first down. Got to move the chains. Punt is upcoming for the Skyhawks. Protecting just a 1-point lead, and NYC is slowly starting to play better and better as this game goes on. Skyhawks lost just 2 games at home last year as the Sailors almost blocked that. They lost to the Louisville Wolfpack, who it was a really good game. Of course, you'll remember that game as Boo McCoo getting his pick 6. But of course, Louisville ended up winning that ball game. And then Carolina lost to Tallahassee in the last night of the season. I believe that was here in Carolina, but I may be mistaken. I do believe, though, Carolina went 4-2 last season at home. Not to forget Peters. Celestino on the carry. Picks up 5 to the Sailor 43. Still stuck on 2 yards a carry. And every time you see the Sailors on an offensive play, at the end of it, it would appear that Avery King is in the screen.
2nd and 5.
He's got to have a clone out there. There's just no way he's able to do all this. Again, showing an outside rush to the top of the screen on the defensive line. Here he comes. Celestino runs away from him and into a monster hit from Tony Willis. This is a rough defense for NYC to figure out here tonight. They're just trying to figure where they can best get their matchups.
3rd and 2.
Swaim had a really good first half, although Muhammad may have ended up with more receiving yards at the end of it. 4 receivers, 2 to either side for Peters. On a 3rd down and 3, Celestino gets his number called and gets put down, no gain. Another terrific defensive stop by Carolina, and the Sailors will have to punt it away again. They're still down 1. NYC 6, Carolina 7, and the offense is out on the field for NYC. They would not seriously go for this on 4th down and 2, would they? Especially with the way these defenses have been playing. I don't think the Sailors are fooling anybody. And they will call a timeout, as the Carolina Skyhawk defense was not falling for that old parlor trick. Don't forget to follow us on all of the social media channels at SimulationFL on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels at /SimulationFL. SimulationFL.com is the website. And for those of you wondering where Thursday night's highlight videos are, got a bit behind on the highlights over the weekend, and we hope to have those highlights and these highlights as well all up for you before Wednesday night's games. So stay tuned for that. Punt is away from NYC. Edwards on the return at the 14-yard line, and he gets up to the 18 with 6:20 to go in the third quarter. What'd you miss if you weren't here for week 1? Well, we've got your news and notes. Matt Wilson, Julian Tyree, career highs in victories. 5 games were decided by 7 points or less. And we'll get to the other 2 notes in just a moment. But it was a tight, competitive week in the SFL. Just a tremendous competition and a lot of really great games. Carolina's pass is caught. Monroe to Varner picks up 9. And Monroe's over 100 yards and a touchdown, and the second big catch for Shan Varner on the night. What else happened in week 1? Well, Darnell Black and Deion Hawkins both rushed for over 250 yards, and as mentioned earlier, the league is expanding into South America. Who's next? Europe? Asia? Football all around SFL Nation, all around the world. Hand off on a trap. English got a first down. A good stand, though, by NYC's defense, but enough to move the chains for Johnny English to bring up 1st and 10 at the Carolina 29-yard line. 5.5 remaining in the third. Carolina is protecting a 7-6 advantage, and both offenses have been able to move the ball fairly decently in this contest. The defenses have just been really hard hitting, and good tacklers all around these rosters. Jean-Pierre Lamarck with the stop, 2nd and 8, a pickup of just 2 for Johnny English. Lamarck, one of the best run stoppers last year, and one of the best linebackers overall. Really went underrated and was undervalued with all that he did for this NYC Sailor team in their inaugural season in the SFL. Back to pass, Monroe, deep ball. Monroe wide open. The pass is caught. Harrelson, diving play at the NYC 45-yard line. Another look at it. Monroe on the money. Watches Harrelson curl, and he's got him. Harrelson, a bit of a quiet game tonight, defended by Alexander Brown, who is a tenacious ball-hawking corner. He was in Baltimore, too. Free play. Monroe to pass. Deep ball. Caught again! And Monroe's got Varner, who's shoved out of bounds. The penalty will be declined. Monroe on fire on this drive, and Carolina's in the red zone.
Neutral zone infraction, number 44. Defense, the penalty is declined.
First down to the 14. Shan Varner most certainly is a more used tight end in this offense, and it's his offense. Shan Varner, the offensive coordinator of Carolina, and the points may not show for it tonight, but at least so far. But Carolina looks much more efficient and much more on message and on strategy than they did in week 1 against the Dragons. Handoff English. He's got inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line, 6 yards on the gain. 2nd and 4 at the 9 coming up. Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. English now making things happen. Harrelson, 4 catches, 43 yards on 7 targets. 2 in the backfield for Monroe. 3:40 to go in the third. Another close, compelling game here on the main network. English, no gain. Bostrom around the end and on the tackle. Last week's commentated games here on the SFL main network. Queen City takes their first lead with 15 seconds to go. They beat Cleveland by 5. Then Wednesday night we had, my brain is killing me. Tallahassee kicks 5 field goals. They win 15-13. That pass is intercepted in the end zone. Cecil Randolph takes points off the board. Monroe can't believe what he just did. I don't know. What does Monroe see here? How can you not see Cecil Randolph just standing there waiting for somebody to cut across the middle of the field? What a defensive stop by NYC, and it's first down Sailors. Anyway, now that my brain is fully functioning again, Tallahassee kicks 5 field goals, beats Minneapolis 15-13 Wednesday night, and they kicked the game winner with less than 5 minutes to play. And then Thursday night, 3 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes as Peters' pass is caught by Swain for a 6-yard gain. 3 touchdown passes in the last 2 minutes in the Louisville-Baltimore game. Louisville took their first lead in that game with under 2 minutes to go, and the Wolfpack won 40-33. It was a wild week 1 here on the mic, and nothing has changed here on August 8th. Third down after Celestino is blown up in the backfield. It was 2nd and 4. That's a 4-yard loss. Happened so fast, I didn't even have a chance to speak on it. Third down, 8 yards to go at the 22. A defensive struggle tonight. Both have really played extraordinary. Just in the tackling has been so good, among a lot of other things. But that is not Elijah Swain, but that is a huge gain. Carter Peters, what a play to the Sailor 49-yard line. Stan Means, the tight end, a little sidearm dump off, and there was no one for miles on the Carolina Skyhawks sideline. Peters up to 139. Boy, did the Sailors need that. They've struggled to get Muhammad going, but the tight ends for NYC have really stepped up. 1st and 10 at the Sailor 49. Just shy of midfield, 4-3 defense showing outside blitz. They back off, rush 4. Pass is caught by Muhammad. It's just a 4-yard gain. Inside the SFL, really great Saturday night. They do such a tremendous job of breaking down the league, taking calls, giving people really a stage just to voice their thoughts and to get excited about week 2. Pretty awesome stuff. Offside here as Avery King decapitates Celestino for probably the 4th time in this game. And that may be enough for a Sailor first down.
Zone infraction, number 92, defense, 12-yard penalty. Repeat.
No, just short, 2nd and 1 coming up for NYC, but it makes it much more manageable at the Carolina 41-yard line. The Skyhawks playing with fire here. They fumble the opening kickoff, but holds the NYC to a 3-and-out to force a field goal. Then Carolina drives all the way down the field. Looks like they're at least going to get 3 points out of it, maybe even 8 the way the drive was, or 6 rather, the way the drive was going. And they couldn't make it happen. Celestino got the first down at the Carolina 40. And with the interception from Cecil Randolph, now the Sailors are on the move as the third quarter winds down. Amazing. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. I formation for NYC. Handoff left side to Celestino, and Avery King is going to be arrested for how many big hits he's making. 8 tackles now for King, 3 for a loss. We still have a whole nother quarter to go. And if I was NYC, I would stop running on the left side. That is the end of the third quarter of play. NYC 6 and Carolina 7. To the fourth quarter we go. The drama is real on the SFL Network. We'll be right back. Start of the fourth quarter, second down and 11. Handoff Celestino. Chance on the stop along with Pack. Got about 5. Third down and 7 now for NYC. Ball's at the Carolina 37. Now we mentioned earlier that KJ Batista, 32 of 35 on field goals in his career, his long as 53. This would be 54 for the lead. Back to pass Peters. And Peters will fire it and overshot his intended receiver, Terminus Law, who does not have a catch tonight. How's that for lockdown? Looks like the Sailors are going to punt it away and not bring KJ Batista out to attempt the 54-yarder. Maybe they feel like they can force Carolina into another mistake. 2 turnovers by the Skyhawks in that third quarter, but they are still winning. Low snap. NYC trying to pin him deep. This ball's going to hop at the 6. They better act fast. It's going in the end zone. Carolina, fresh start at the 20. And Monroe, that pass that was intercepted by Randolph, that was his only bad throw of the night. I mean, he really has looked like a changed man out there. And this system just seems to suit Carolina maybe a bit better. It's shocking that the Skyhawks have only 7 points on the board tonight. Back to pass. Monroe down the field, caught again, and what a play. Lamarck, a huge hit over the middle. Catch was made by Alan Graham. Talk about stepping up. Oh, brutal. Lamarck headhunting. What concussion protocol? 1st and 10 at the 34. Under 10 minutes to play. I formation with English dotting it. Showing a blitz. NYC in the 4-3. They back off, rush 4. Swing outside. And that's the fullback who we have not heard from all night, Jay Holder. And I apologize, Mr. Holder, for missing you on the starting lineups earlier. 6'2", 250. That's his first catch or carry of the night. Second down, 7 at the 37. Back to pass, Monroe. Monroe has to dump it off. I believe that's Holder again. There is a flag. Not sure what this is all about. Would be third down and pretty long.
Clipping, number 11, offense.
They're calling clipping. Penalty is on Sean Harrelson.
Repeat, second down.
Interesting call there on the outside. Let's get another look at it. Goes down the field. What are they looking at? What is that?
Second and 22.
A phantom call. Carolina's got to be steaming. I mean, the worst penalty call I've seen in my life. They must have gotten the number wrong. They must have. Zelli on the catch. It's 3rd and 14. Pickup of 8. Randolph on the tackle. They must have gotten that wrong. Come on. Unbelievable. Wednesday night, it's the 300th game in SFL history. The Sioux Falls Sparrows host the Orlando Intimidators, and it comes your way right here. Same time, same place, in a couple of days on the SFL Network. And Monroe, I don't know how he threw that pass for a first down. I thought he handed it off to English. He completely fooled me, and it's Kajana Edwards, the man who what? Look at this. No one even knew on NYC that Monroe had the football. I'm fully convinced they just didn't even know that he had it. That is poise if I've ever seen it out of a quarterback. He was surrounded. 8:20 to go. Another brilliant play from Monroe. Back to pass. Monroe fires. Caught again over the middle. Harrelson breaks a tackle. First down to the Sailor 38-yard line. Really impressed. The points aren't coming necessarily for Carolina, but Jamison Monroe, this is one of the better games I've seen him play. Just in his ability to make plays short, medium, and long range down the field. 7:45 to go. Monroe back to pass again. Steps up in the pocket, fires middle, caught again. A gain of 6 yards. That's Harrelson, his 6th catch of the night. And the clock continues to roll, not in the favor of NYC, who still trails in this game. Whew. This has been a fun one, I tell you. 2 receivers both off to the right side. Short side, ball on the right hash. High formation, handoff English. He's going to go left. English gets a block. English with a stiff arm, and Del Castro holds them shy of the first down. 3rd down inches. Now under 7 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Carolina bleeding the clock. Still plenty of time. 3rd and short. 2 receivers either side. Monroe's under center. English in the backfield. He gets the handoff straight away, and there's no way you're stopping that freight train. First down to the Sailor 24. Sailors are going to look back at the start of the 3rd quarter when they forced that fumble, and they were in the red zone, and they had every opportunity to take firm control and firm momentum of this game, and they couldn't get it done. They're going to look back at the holding call as English loses 2 yards. Beautiful job by Lamarck again in the backfield. They're going to look back at that holding call and that touchdown that was taken off the board and that missed opportunity. If they lose this game, those are the 2 biggest moments for NYC and their lack of point production. 5:53 to go in the 4th. Split backs with Monroe. Monroe back to pass. And Monroe will go left side. Caught! Great throw right out in front of Shan Varner. First down to the 12. Monroe. Look at this. Look at this touch pass. That is a touch pass. Out ahead. If he throws that ball anywhere else, Lamarck is either intercepting it or that ball is not caught. Put it right where he needed it to put it, from right to left. Carolina back in the red zone where Monroe threw an interception earlier in this half. 1st and 10 at the Sailor 12. Monroe hands it off. English is hit by Randolph, who came flying in unblocked, a loss of 4. Both these teams are really racking up the tackles for loss. Randolph, who had that interception, I mean, he's just unblocked. You just got to block that guy. I mean, I know Johnny English is a bruiser, but you can't expect Johnny English to get away from somebody like that. Full speed ahead. 4:42 to go. NYC 6, Carolina 7. Monroe back to pass. Monroe flips outside. Pass is caught. Harrelson turns on a dime back into the field of play. 7 catches, 70 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and very meaningful 8 from the NYC 10. Carolina can get another first down and bleed more time off this clock. What a wild game. 4 receivers, 3 off to the right. Monroe's in the shotgun, 3-2 look out of the NYC defense. Monroe taking his time, down to 4:07 to go. Handoff English. English left side, he's got nothing. That has not worked. That play has not worked at all tonight for Carolina. Sailors reading it like a book for second graders, and it's 4th down and 11, under 4 to play. Carolina going to have to attempt a field goal for the first time tonight, and NYC has a chance to do something that they haven't done all night, take the lead with a touchdown. This field goal from Hart, or for Hart, is from 30 yards away. Carolina continues to bleed time off the clock. Bad snap! Oh, the kick! I can't believe it wasn't blocked. Another break for the Skyhawks. Can't believe it wasn't blocked. A man in the face of Jamie Hart, and I think maybe he thought they had already kicked the ball. Maybe it was the TV angle. It looked like maybe he was in front of it. Maybe he was off to the left side. Hard to tell. Wow, so here we go. NYC, who got just 2 touchdowns on the board last week, 0 here tonight. Carolina's defense, tenacious as heck, up to the 30. Can Carter Peters figure it out? He found Sultan Muhammad deep down the field in a too little too late effort against the Dallas Roughnecks for a couple touchdowns. But when you look back on NYC, this is the 2nd straight game where they did not score a touchdown in the first 3 quarters. Their 2 touchdowns came in the 4th last week. They only need 1 here in the last 3:17. Peters back to pass. Peters down the field, caught by Law. That's his first catch of the night, and it couldn't have come at a better time. First down to the 45. Empty backfield for Peters. He is quick about it. Peters swings it outside. Law again. Caught at the Sailor 48, pickup of 3. Sailors in business, and watch out for Elijah Swaim. He's been quiet in the second half, but every time they've looked his way, he's been open.
2nd and 6.
Sailors trying to put together a game-winning drive. 3-4 defensive look from the Skyhawks. Peters will throw. Peters out to Celestino. Got a lot of room on the outside. Did he get the first down? He did not. Good tackle on the outside. Pursuit from Tony Willis and company. And the clock is stopped. 2:51 to go in the 4th. 3rd and inches. Carolina 45. Skyhawk fans trying to get rowdy. 4 receivers. Peters is under center. Celestino in the backfield. Who's going to get the call? 3-4 defense again. Celestino got the first down and more. Celestino is in field goal range down to the 30. Big run on 3rd and short. That was huge. That gives the Sailors a ton of confidence. Of course, a field goal I don't think is going to do the Sailors much good. There's just not enough time on the clock. I think NYC would have to go for it moving forward. The clock is moving. 2:42 to go. Ball on the Carolina 30. NYC only has 2 timeouts remaining. That's the thing. Handoff Celestino, and Celestino lost a few yards. That's Avery King in the backfield again. He is just unbelievable. 53 yards on 27 carries. Celestino not having the success he had against Dallas last week. 2:20 to go and counting. I know NYC's not in a hurry, but they can't face a lot of these 2nd and 3rd and longs. 2 receivers. Peters back to pass. Everything covered, and down the middle. Swaim is wide open. 2-minute warning. First down of the 17. And again, Carolina had the outsides covered. And a perfect read from Carter Peters to see the middle of the field that was uncovered. NYC's in the red zone. with a chance to win the game. We have hit the 2-minute warning. This is the SFL Network. How about this one? What a game. 1st and 10 at the Carolina 17. Sailors can win it with a touchdown. Handoff Celestino up the middle. Look at the running room. Celestino down to the 12. A 6-yard gain, and the Sailors are going to try to make sure that Carolina has absolutely no time to try to respond. How will the Skyhawks attempt to use their timeouts is also another question. They have 3 remaining. When does Carolina start to get nervous? They may not get the ball back. 1:35 to go. I formation for NYC. Muhammad off to the outside, defended by Chance. Handoff Celestino left. Is that King again? No, it's Bobby Law. But still, almost every time NYC has tried to run left, either Bobby Law or Avery King comes flying in unblocked to make the tackle. Now down to 1:10 to go. It's 3rd down at the 14. Peters back to pass. Quick drop back. Fires it outside. Law trying to turn the corner. And Spurgeon makes the tackle. 4th down and 2 at the 9. Monroe ends with 238 passing yards. That is if Carolina doesn't get the ball back. Down to 45 seconds to go. 4th down. Peters with Law and Muhammad to the outside. 37 seconds to go. 4 down linemen, a 4-3 defense. Peters to throw. 3-step drop, fires. Caught inside the 5. Muhammad tried to spin away and gets to the 3. Timeout NYC. They have 1 remaining. 3 yards away from one of the best 2-minute drives this league has ever seen. 1st and goal, 27 seconds to go. Peters goes empty backfield. Can Carolina's defense get 1 more stop? Peters back to pass. Peters in zone. Peters caught by Swaim. It's incomplete. He was out of bounds. Had him. Peters threw it a little too late. Oh, the booth is going to review it. And we have seen a couple. That phantom call was the worst. Horrible calls by the officiating. This is the biggest call I think that the officials have to make all season. Swaim, oh, he's out. There's no way you can give them a touchdown.
After review, the play stands. The pass was incomplete.
And Klein has a sigh of relief. Nakia Randall is the coach for NYC. We've had some issues with their coach showing up correctly on your screen, but Nakia Randall still holding out hope. 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line. Carolina looking for a goal line stand. 24 seconds to go. Celestino's in the backfield. Maybe NYC tries to run a little more time off the clock. No, Peters going to throw. Peters in zone. Touchdown! Touchdown NYC! Carter Peters, for the moment, is the hero. He finds Reed Dockery in the end zone. And he just runs a straight go route. That is inexcusable coverage. Nobody covers Dockery. Nobody touched him. Nobody pushed him. Nobody went out to cover that part of the field. A busted coverage on the goal line, and the Sailors have done just the unthinkable with the 4th down conversion. And now they leave Carolina with just 21 seconds to go and 3 timeouts. What a way to end it. I mean, what an unbelievable way to end it. "21 ticks on the clock." The SFL postgame show is coming up next. Don't forget to stick around. Give your reaction to this game and all the others. If you're a player, coach, or owner, we want to hear from you. Unbelievable night. Return to the 17 seconds left. Don't forget that on Wednesday, Orlando and Sioux Falls, the SFL's 300th game, will take place in South Dakota. Someone's going 2-0 in that contest. This is it for Carolina. They're either forcing overtime or they're going home empty-handed. After all the good that they did throughout the night. That end zone interception may come back to haunt him. Monroe back to pass. Flips it out short. Receiver fell. They got to call timeout. Not what Carolina was looking for. Only up at the 27-yard line. Hilliard on the catch. Got to at least get yourself in range to give Monroe a chance to give it the old heave-ho. Two receivers off to the left. Interesting formation here for Carolina. Monroe back to pass. Monroe's in trouble. He's got to check it down to English. English has to make something happen. He can't make anything happen. Carolina down to one timeout and 6 seconds to go. Ball just at the 30. There was nobody open. And Carolina's offense scored 14 last week. They put up just 10 on the board this week. Looked much improved, but still came away empty. Unless the last 6 seconds turned perception around. Monroe back to pass. Flips it outside. Pass is caught down the sideline. Oh my goodness! And the time expires. The game is over. He almost broke free. The game is over. NYC 13, Carolina 10. And your post-game show is next. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Cameron Irvine. Carolina has 90 more yards of total offense. And the game is over. The clock runs out on the Skyhawks. Post-game show right around the corner.